Good morning. And it is another day and another opportunity to choose what to focus on. And in difficult times, there are many things to take our attention away, many things to get distracted by, many things to feel anxious about. So let's begin by just getting in touch with our breath. Inhaling for the count of 7. And exhaling for the count of 11. Really, the 7-11 is just to give you some guidelines and parameters, something to focus on, because sometimes even in the midst of breathing, you can get distracted. But the idea is to spend more time exhaling than you do inhaling, and to feel comfortable that you're not overdoing it in either direction. Now, this bowl right here in the middle is for your heart chakra. Let's do a little bit of heart opening. As you breathe in, imagine breathing into your heart and hearing the sound of this bell. Allow your heart to feel as though it's radiating and vibrating, emanating out from you. Continuing to breathe, to inhale and to exhale. This time of self-isolation has also been a great time for self-reflection, and maybe that's been the case for you as well. So as you have been reflecting perhaps of what's important to you, what do you value, and maybe in some ways, what is your life all about? What do you want to be remembered by? How do you want to think, feel, and respond to life? Let's face it, sometimes what we think we would like to do and what we actually end up doing is not always the same thing. And yet, how do we get there? I think practice is part of it. I think taking time to sit still definitely does help a lot. Checking in with ourselves and how we're doing. How are we doing? Are we stable enough to act the way that we would like to act? Or are there certain gaps or holes or wounds that get in the way? And if we become aware of them, then we have the opportunity to heal them. There are many ways to heal. This bowl right here is the second chakra, the sacral chakra. the fourth chakra, the heart chakra. And the crown chakra. The sixth chakra. No, I'm sorry, the seventh chakra. The sixth is the third eye. But as you see here with the, I have up here the hierarchy of needs, and maybe you can't see that close up, but I'm going to be talking a little bit more about that. And when I talk about thinking about what's important to me and where I want to spend my energy, I also think about all the years of education and training that I've received. And why did I seek out that particular education and training? And why have I followed the same path for over 30 years of meditation, spirituality, psychology, spiritual mind treatment? Why do I continually find myself associating with some of the same people? They pop back into my life even after it seems like they were not there anymore. What are the things I'm attracted to? And you ask those questions right back to yourself. What have you been studying? What have you been experiencing? What is really important to you? When you moved from one place to another, what did you take with you? And what did you leave behind? And why did you leave it behind? What were you hoping would happen when you moved to the next scenario? What were you trying to get away from? And what were you trying to run toward? Let your heart grow strong enough to stand up for yourself. And what you said you were going to do. Let the true you radiate out from you. Listen to your heart and even to your gut. And for a little while, stop listening to your mind, especially if listening to your mind keeps getting you in the same situations over and over again that you don't want to be in. Now, here's the thing. When you decide to turn away from something that's no longer in alignment with you, it doesn't mean that it's going to be easy. And even though you have a lot of resolve to do that thing that you said you were going to do, doesn't mean it's going to be easy. You're going to have to tune out the voices of negativity and criticism. You're going to have to learn to stand strong, regardless of what anybody is saying or doing, regardless of the looks on their faces, the words they say, speak, or write. Because let's face it, you're never going to get to the point where everybody agrees with you. So see if you can find your grounding in yourself. And call upon whatever higher power or higher source or belief system that you have in something greater than yourself and your ego. with this hierarchy of needs, part of what I want to communicate about is not only the hierarchy of needs, but also the brain. And basically, this nice symbol here could apply to the traumatized, or the brain as well, but also to trauma and how it affects the brain. You have your basic needs that are the foundation of your survival. And if those basic needs are not satisfied, then it makes it hard to progress spiritually in life. It makes it hard to stick to those higher order levels of tasks and thinking and actions that you would like to stick to. So don't beat yourself up if you're not where you want to be. Start taking care of some of your basic needs. And one of them is breathing. Now, obviously you are breathing, otherwise you wouldn't even be able to watch this video. But what kind of breathing are you doing? Is it panic breathing? Is it shallow breathing? Is it non-existent breathing? Because I know for me, sometimes when I've been panicked and stressed, I noticed that I was holding my breath. That I had stopped breathing. I had stopped bringing oxygen into my body. So that's part of the reason why a practice like this could be so helpful for you. 7-11 breathing. Breathing into the count of 7. Breathing out to the count of 11. Letting your lungs expand. Thinking the thoughts and having the energy of that which you want to imagine and attract to your life. Letting it grow and radiate out from you. And then exhaling all toxic energy, toxic memories, thoughts of doubt, worry and fear, thoughts of anxiety, thoughts of not good enough, thoughts of what if, just be, just breathe. And in some cases you'll find that that alone is enough to carry you through the next little patch. But with practice and reminders, you'll find that you can do this in a car, in a crowd, in a line, in solitude, in bed, in a variety of places. It's portable. You don't have to rely on anybody. Breathing is very portable. It goes with you everywhere. The other concepts on here are food, water, shelter, clothing, and sleep. But these little tabs that I put off to the side here, which you can't see or read right now, I'm going to tell you what they say. Dependency and addiction. I believe that people who struggle with addiction have a physiological need to use the thing they're addicted to. And until they use it, they can't think about anything else. That doesn't mean that I'm condoning addiction and I think everybody should be addicted, but addiction needs to be handled. It needs to be treated. Dependency and addiction go together, but they're not necessarily the same thing. Dependency is this idea that I need a particular thing, a particular person, a particular income, a particular thing to make my identity feel good, to make me feel whole, to make me feel safe. And if I don't have it, then I can't go on. Trauma and addiction are tied together. This is the answer to the question, why do smart people do dumb things? This doesn't have anything to do with being smart right here. Smarts start coming in up higher up the pyramid. All of us are capable of losing our smartness, our intelligence, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to call it intelligence because I think there's an infinite intelligence, and then there's an intelligence that is maybe more like logic or academic reasoning. I don't know. But I'll let you think about it. How does that sit with you? Have you ever been free from those addictions and dependencies and felt the difference? It's a true freedom. Sometimes people feel like addiction is what makes them free. I can use anything I want. I can feel whatever I want. After all, it's legal. But you pay a price. You pay a price. So when we ask the question, why don't people act smarter? Why don't they live to their potential? This is part of it, but also the trauma of the brain is part of it. Some of you who have studied this already, Dr. Bruce Perry, the upside down brain, the trauma and how it affects the brain. These are the kinds of things that I will be bringing in. This is how I have, through my own reflection, come to realize, how can I bring together all that I know, all that I have, and all that I want to share? Thank you so much for encouraging me on this journey. I appreciate it. I know that there are enough people to benefit from this that it's worth continuing. And I hope to see you again, talk to you again, or meet you, I guess, in the world of infinite intelligence. Bye for now.